I'm willing to edit it in post, like if you really don't like hearing your voice.
I just hit start. All right. This is Stupid Contrived People. I'm Kenneth with my co-host Gus.
Gus.
We're here to talk about SCPs doing moderately shallow dives into SCPs starting from 1 to whenever I finally let the depression take me. I go into the back and blow my brains out because I can't read another fucking SCP Mary Sue insert.
I mean, I feel like for the first 2,000, we're probably gonna be decently okay. It's after that point when we're like the amount of good quality SCPs is gonna. Wait, shouldn't we move to the recording room?
Hey.
Oh, hi. We're.
Hey, what's up? Nick joined us randomly.
Yes, a wild Nick appeared. It's like
Nick.
This.
Indeed.
Nick, we are currently on the very first episode of Stupid Contrived People, where we do deep dives into, well, moderately
Yes.
deep to shallow dives into SCPs. Today we're talking about SCP-001.
Well then.
And we're each reading a stupid one, like because there's like 10 SCP-001s, and it's like supposedly none of them are real, only one of them is real, and it's like, well, that's the point. But anyway,
So let's start at the very, very top. So Nick, you're in for joining us?
Not really right now. I didn't know what you guys were doing.
yeah, honestly, we should have moved to the recording room. That's our bad, honestly.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nick. We're gonna do this for about like 40 minutes, and then we're probably gonna jump on Minecraft or Gmod if you want to do that.
Yeah, I'll wait for you guys to do that, and then I'll watch to see if you're on the one of the other channels if necessary.
Okay. We'll as soon as we're done here, we'll jump on Gmod.
Okay.
Later.
See ya.
I had to unmute.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I had to unmute you. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna have to edit some of that, but like I said, I'm up to doing it.
You know what? This is the raw version. Once tomorrow morning you can download it and do whatever editing you feel like. I'll completely let you do that.
Probably not tomorrow, because I woke up early today. That means I'll be up late tomorrow.
We're burning time.
Okay, yes. Okay, let's go. So, shall I go first?
Well, real quick, let's give a rundown. SCP-001. The following files have been classified top secret by the order of the administrator. General Notice 001 Alpha. In order to prevent knowledge of SCP-001 from being leaked, several no false SCP-001 files have been created alongside the true files. All files concerning the nature of SCP-001, including the decoys, are protected by memetic kill agent designed to immediately cause cardiac arrest in any unauthorized personnel attempting to access the file. Revealing the true natures of SCP to the general public is cause for execution except for required under redacted. Yeah, redacted. Warning. Warning, any non-authorized personnel accessing this file will be immediately terminated through Berryman Langford memetic kill agent. Scrolling down without proper memetic inoculation will result in immediate cardiac arrest followed by death. You have been warned.
So should we start talking about this like right now, or do you want to like bring it up later?
You know what? Let's talk about this before we move in.
Okay.
Before we get into anything else, I think the perfect thing to do at the moment is to start at SCP-001. Before we go in and do the next episode, we'll have a quick rundown on the different classifications. But like, the reason why I wanted to do this is because I'm so fucking sick of shitty SCPs. And you know what? Let's start at the shittiest SCP, the first one. Not technically the first one created, because wasn't that like Peanut or something was one of the first ones
That
created?
was 173. Yes, correct.
Yeah. Let's start at SCP-001, which is I'm sorry, I think it's bad. That's
No, I think you like in the paragraph you just read through, you can find a lot of what makes like all the flaws in the SCP thing. Like it's all right there. It's like using words nobody understands, like to try to like make it seem like you're actually smart when it's like what you're saying is probably like bullshit, and it's like, well, like what's a mimetic kill agent? Well, I think like I can guess, but I don't really know. Like let's look it up right now. Mimetic kill agent. Okay.
How do you pronounce it? Let's see.
I assume meme. So what is a mimetic kill agent?
Mimetic, also referring to colloquially as memology, is the study of information culture based on analogy with Darwin evolution.
So memes, like not an internet meme, but like the original intent of the word meme, which is an idea that propagates itself. It's like a gene, but in intellectual form. Like, okay, so if you go up to your friend and say like, hey, I really like Star Wars, well, that's kind of like a meme at work. Like, you are sharing something that you really like, and so that's how a meme works. It's like an idea that gets shared around.
Yes. So what the fuck is a mimetic kill agent? Like, I don't understand what that is. Okay,
so I think what it's implying is
mimetic
okay, I looked it up. Somebody on Reddit explained it.
I'm actually on the SCP Foundation website right now. Currently, the viewer.
No, I've looked it up. Somebody on Reddit kind of explained it, but basically, if you see it, you commit suicide. And that's kind of dumb. It's like a word or something can't influence you to do that. Like, there's no sort of, like... Well, like, you know, it's kind of like hypnosis.
Hold up. I'm actually on the SCP Foundation, and someone in the thread says, I think mimetic kill agents are an interesting combination of three imperfect ideas. You got an idea as virus metaphor, the brain as a computer metaphor, and the idea that a virus can permanently disable a computer's hardware. It may still be the case, but I've heard the third idea isn't as true as it is early computing anyway.
I feel...
That was dry.
Yeah, that's...
That... Okay, again...
It's an idea that can kill you.
Look, okay, so we're coming in strong, and we're kind of ragging on, because we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this in order from 1 to 4999. We're gonna go from number 1 on, and this, starting at 001, like, I don't know the behind the scenes stories of like the. I only really was a fan of the stuff that was, how do I say this? I came in much later in the fandom, I guess, to the point that, like, I was reading them, and I wasn't really personally connected to any of the writers. I didn't really pay attention to that kind of thing.
No.
But one of the problems I have with SCP, like, look how many there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 28. We're going through 2 of them. 2.
It's pretty excessive.
Yes.
The point, like, the first SCP, Billy, he started, like, as somebody saw this picture, like, he was an art project, and so like they took a picture of it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so somebody like saw this picture and was like, I'm gonna make something silly about that, and then they posted it on 4chan. And due to the nature of 4chan, like we don't even know if that like I don't know if we know for sure. Like I'd love to be corrected. Like is this is the guy who originally did like the silly article he wrote like the thing on 4chan is he absolutely 100% confirmed to even like go on to the rest of the stuff? And because like you can kind of tell because like object class like Euclid it like makes no sense. Like Euclid refers to like geometry and stuff.
Um,
It's just a neat word to have.
okay, so I feel like this comes down to ultimately like a lot of like long running horror. The minute you think too much about it, you start poking holes in the boat.
Yeah, and like okay, so that original thing it's pretty clear somebody could definitely go much further with it, but the question is like how much can it sustain? Because nothing is in like nothing can run indefinitely. There is no such thing like the source of all the like basically the reason we're alive is because like the sun was warming the earth at like a reasonable temperature due to the difference and like things could exist on it. So like that's that energy is the source of all of our life basically. Like simplified science. And like it's going to take a while but eventually it's done. It's going to be gone. And it'll take much longer. Like humanity will be extinct by that point. But the point is like it's not. Nothing is sustainable in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, I was wondering where you were going, and I started to get lost there.
Okay, so like I tend to overcomplicate myself, but like even the most powerful thing in the world can only run for so long.
Okay.
And ideas are the same. And like I can see you making 100 good SCPs, but like beyond that, how much like can you go? How far can you go?
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to rate all the SCPs on a scale from 1 to what do you think? Should we do 1 to 100, like on a 100-point scale?
Sure. It like we may be reduced to like doing round numbers, but like we at least have the 5 we can go to if we're not sure like what we like rated on.
And maybe someone smarter than us can do this better.
Mm-hmm.
Like the charting and everything. Well,
yeah, like what is the like fine, but like we can have a whole episode on what we're basing our ratings on.
So I think we should just dive into it. I am going to read mine first, which is Codename Jim North, a simple toy maker. Jim North's proposal. Item number SCP-001. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. Due to its relatively benign nature, SCP-001 has been classified as safe and no attempts to locate or indirectly contain it are to be made at this time. Containment efforts are focused on the products that it generates, which are to be assigned individual designations and special containment procedures. SCP-001 is a male human known as Dr. Wondertainment. It is a Class 1 reality bending capable of imbuing otherwise mundane creations with anomalous properties. Focusing its abilities on the creation of toys, board games, candy, and various other products marketed at children, it distributes these items via anomalous means from an unknown location. Product examples include paper that takes on the properties of whatever shape it's folded into, a playset capable of creating animated shadows, and lollipops that allow people to switch voices. Addendum 001/1 History. Due to the elusive nature of this entity, very little is currently known about SCP-001's past. That said, it is known that he was born and raised in a small village, the son of a seamstress and chartered accountant. Seemingly set to lead a life of quiet desperation in a gray and boring world, he found joy solely in the stories that his father would tell him before bed each night. Stories of marvelous toy makers who made wonders that the world had never seen nor since. A toy maker who, according to SCP-001's father, was a distant relative of theirs and whose blood ran through the young SCP-001's veins. After he grew up, SCP-001 sought the truth of the stories and intent on reclaiming his birthright. He followed any lead he could find, seeking out even the vaguest of rumors of dolls that came to life, jumping jacks that really jumped, cuckoo clocks that cuckoo clocks that sang and danced without even a single cog or spring within. For the longest time, it seemed as if the journey was in vain and that the old toy maker's secrets were buried for good. But to his surprise and delight, he at long last found a place that made dolls that ran and jacks that jumped and so many other magical things. He had found his factory. This dude sounds like a fucked up Willy Wonka. Like, you know, not a fucked up, a good Willy Wonka.
I mean, like, what we've seen so far, Willy Wonka's probably a worse person.
Yes. The factory was a trap. It stole SCP-001 and put the young man to work within its gray walls of concrete and steel. It forced him to take part in its mockery of creativity until he almost broke. But instead, he escaped with stolen documents that led him to a cottage deep in the woods, the source of the magic the factory had taken and twisted to its own ends. He entered the cottage, and there he found the workshop of his ancient ancestor. With a small, satisfied smile, he read through the journals and notes and designs. With a soft twinkle in his eye, he took up the tools of the new trade, and finally, with a deep sigh of pure contentment, No. I mean, yes, it's a nice story. That it's all well and good, but all very heartfelt, very intimate. But this is supposed to be an SCP-001 entry, is it not? We need something better than a nice story, don't you think? Good, I'm glad you agree. Let's try again. This time, let's go with something a little bit bigger, and then it moves on.
Yeah. It's worth noting there is some context there because Dr. Entertainment, like, he's created SCPs. Like, there's a bunch of SCPs that are credited to him being created by him. I just thought it's worth bringing up.
Yeah. Now, Gus, yours is codenamed Jonathan Ball, Sheaf of Papers.
Mm-hmm. Jonathan Ball's proposal.
Do you want me to read it, or?
I can read it. Jonathan Ball's proposal. Item SCP-001. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. To date, no adequate containment procedure has been developed to deal with the possible threat posed by SCP-001. This is due in part to the controversial nature of the item and debates concerning the necessity of its containment. This controversy is reflected in the item's changing object class and the procedures utilized in its containment. The current administration, despite charges of paranoia, has classified the object Keter while requesting permission for a higher object class to be created and applied uniquely to this item, considering it to be the most dangerous of all known or possible items. The reason for this classification and changing attitude towards SCP-001 are dealt with in the description and notes. Ooh. At present, SCP-001 is located in a code-locked briefcase made of high-tensile reinforced polymer. The room and briefcase are monitored at all times by security cameras. The briefcase cannot be opened without unanimous special clearance from all 05 officers. The briefcase itself is stored in a small, fully lit, single-room off-site building erected in Redacted. Class D personnel are posted to guard the building, but may not enter without the aforementioned agreement from O5 officers under threat of immediate termination. This off-site building exists for the sole purpose of housing SCP-001 and is wired for detonation in an emergency situation. It is the option of the current administration that SCP-001 represents the greatest threat to national and global security known to exist. Nevertheless, due to special circumstances regarding its mode of function, further research on the item is disallowed despite its promotion in the past when SCP-001 was contained in minimum security conditions. Okay, moving on to the description. SCP-001 is a simple sheaf of papers. Stapled together in the top left corner. The top sheet is a covering sheet reading simply confidential report on special items classified. The number of subsequent papers stapled to this covering sheet is indeterminate and have ranged from 3 to 30. The report is unsigned and its origin is unknown. The first appearance of this report was on Redacted, when it appeared on the desk of Redacted, now deceased. The report at the time described the living room, SCP-002. Shortly after reading the report with incredulity, Redacted was contacted by phone regarding said item. The next time Redacted used SCP-001, it described not the living room, but biological motherboard, SCP-003. Redacted immediately closed SCP-001, thinking it was a different report, and searched for the original report on SCP-002. Not finding it, he again opened SCP-001, and this time it described not SCP-003, but the 12 rescue keys in the door, SCP-004. Redacted closed the report once more and opened it again immediately to read Skeleton Key, SCP-005. It is not known what the next actions of Redacted might have been. At varying times following this incident, the aforementioned items were discovered. Insufficient research exists concerning the correlation between SCP-001 and all other known items. However, it has been established that every event regarding the discovery of a new SCP item has followed a report on that same item appearing beneath the cover sheet of SCP-001. The current administration regards this coincidence as proof of causal connection. Additional notes. Whether SCP-001 is to be regarded as an advanced warning system or whether SCP-001 itself is to be regarded as the creator of items requiring special containment remains to be seen. However, this distinction is unimportant in the eyes of the current administration. The fact remains no new SCP items appear unless SCP-001 is opened and read. It is for this reason that the current administration refuses to repeat the mistakes of the past, mistakes that have resulted in over 1,000 SCP items coming to the knowledge of the SCP unit. Arguments concerning the non-lethality of SCP-001 itself, its theoretically beneficial use as an SCP warning system, or its use as a progenitor of advanced biological and non-biological weapons have not swayed the current administration, nor have arguments criticizing the extreme containment procedures employed in respect to an item that displays no nefarious qualities and is not animated as such. Critics are reminded that these procedures are not intended to contain the item itself, but to isolate it from human interaction, which is regarded as the true threat. Although the current administration refuses to remove the object from isolation, barring special authorization as noted above, past administrations have counseled daily with the item, and future administrations will no doubt counsel similar behavior. Nevertheless, it is the opinion of the current administration that, barring the destruction of SCP-001, it is to be contained until a special time when responsibility for its containment falls upon future administrations. And that's the end.
That was a lot. So, okay.
So, do you want me to summarize it?
No. I'm not. I think the thing that so this was completely incidental, but you and I kind of picked so the crux of this SCP is that we have to believe that any one of these could potentially be SCP-001, correct?
Yes. Yes, that is correct.
Out of the two that we have read, the one that I read and the one you read, out of those two, what is most likely to be... Because, yeah, sure, they both created SCPs, but clearly the one you read, the sheaf of paper, is way more fucking likely to be SCP-0. This is okay. So I don't know what the behind the scenes story of this is. I don't know if a bunch of people had an idea for what SCP-001 should be, and no one could accept taking the ball or being number one, so they had to do this. I don't know what the behind the scenes story is, and if any SCP fans would love to tell me about the behind the scenes of why this is like this, I would love to hear that. But as someone who more or less views this as like, I don't know any of the behind the scenes stuff, this seems like a bunch of people did not know what the fuck they were doing and just
totally
all together. And maybe I'm being a dick because I don't know the behind the scenes story, but I'm saying to me.
Well, nothing, like, if you can't, like, if you need outside context to understand something, I think, like, if you absolutely require outside context to understand something, then that does not, like, stand as a work on its own, and that's what every work has to stand on. It has to be, like, I have to be able to understand, like, if I can't understand the plot of the movie without looking something up, I'm not sure that's a good movie. You know? Or, you know, if I can't enjoy it.
It's like having to watch 10 fucking Marvel movies before you go see Infinity War. Like, yeah, sure, I'm the dude who literally watches every Marvel movie as they get released. I'm the asshole that keeps giving them money. Sorry, that's me. But, like, yeah, you need to see 10 fucking Marvel movies to get Infinity War. I mean, yes, I'm a person who sees 10 Marvel movies to go see Infinity War. But, like...
I actually didn't see a lot of the Marvel movies leading up to Infinity War, and I still enjoyed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't see, like, half of them.
Hold up. Different discussion for a different episode.
True.
But, okay,
well, that's sequels, but, like, if you can't understand something without going to the creator and saying, hey, what the hell did this mean? Like, and is that, like, if you can't enjoy it, I mean.
If I, from the outside, was sent here by someone going, oh, hey, you should take a look at these, and I immediately clicked on number 1, and the first thing that I see is that
this abomination.
This warning at the very beginning. Then I scroll all the way down, and I don't understand what memetic kill agent activated.
It's a retarded idea, basically.
Yes. And all these different files, like you could at least make... Okay, so Dr. Mann, Dr. Mackenzie, S. Andrew Swans, but then you have Scantron and Dejoric and D Matrix. Like, you know these fuckers aren't real doctors. Like, immediately the immersion's broken. And if you're coming for the first fucking time, you're looking at this goddamn mess of fucking word salad that's in front of me, of like all these different fucking... The Great Hippo featuring Pepper's Ghost. Holy shit. I'm sorry, this one right here, that
Codename Washang, the Deadly Moose, Drew Bear, Dexanote.
Okay,
they kind of shatter the immersion immediately. You know?
Yeah.
You know how they should organize this? 173 should be the first one that pops up. Like,
well, so are you arguing that SCP should be done by chronological order in which they were written or discovered? Because no, chronologically it would be 001, because like the sheaf of
Mhm.
paper 001
Well, I think
references
they could
creating
have done
2,
a good
3, and 4.
they could have done a good like 001, but they didn't. Like they had to shove a whole bunch of stuff in there because the number one is so important. It's like, dude, just like make the number one like
I
something like just something you can kind of like ease people into with like a good introduction. Like, well, what is this about? It's about like supernatural things that they have no way of explaining, so they lock it up and like that's what that's what you should understand when you read the first one. And like if they wanted to have a secret origin of all SCPs being something like really special, then like leave that so that like after you've read the first 1,000, there's like codename SCP-000.
I
I don't know. Maybe I'm weird.
I don't
Like,
think you should redo. I'm not gonna give the idea like what they should do. I'm just saying.
yeah, like
I don't
I
know.
said, I just don't think they executed it well.
I don't
Long and
know.
short of it
I think
is,
I
I
just
don't
said
think.
I don't know. I don't think I said anything right there.
No, no.
Yep.
Oh,
Just dough. Just
No.
dough. I guess that I guess
what do
that
you think of the SCPs reread themselves?
I like the sheaf of like, to be honest, sheaf of papers is basically could be 001, and like the rest of these could all just be lies, cuz just if why would you try to keep people from not knowing which one is the real one if it's a simple toy maker? If it's literally just a dude who can make toys, then there's
Yeah,
no way
yours
people
was like it
in
was just so dumb. It's just
in
like
the story they even reference people knowing about his power with with that factory that trapped him. It's I don't know. I would I'm gonna give this God. So Gus, what do you give this? Cause I
0-1 as a whole, or just the one you read.
as a whole, the whole concept of 001. I mean, no, we didn't
Okay, in
read every
execution alone, it's like a 3. Like, I guess
out of 100. Out of 100. Remember,
not
the
a
scale is out of 100.
30. Sorry, 30.
30.
30 out of 100. It does not pass.
I will agree with you. I want to say 30 out of 100.
For the sheaf of papers itself,
I'd
I
give it.
could bump it up to like a 50, and I actually have some really big issues with the sheaf of papers. Like,
Well, okay.
it's kind of like a lot of what you said about horror. Like, the more you think about it, it kind of falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh,
I could discuss the ways in which this one falls apart personally.
okay, but I mean, like, a lot of them tend to fall apart when you look at them too closely. To be serious, I mean that's why we're doing
Well,
this right
this
now.
one, it kind of it harms other ones itself. It's like you have this whole interesting universe, like, and like there's this whole supernatural universe, and there's all this stuff going on, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's all created by this one thing. That it's like that kind of feels like a bit of a cop out. It's like, well, why can't there just be like that? Removes a lot of the cosmic core. It's like, oh yeah, well this dimension wouldn't exist if some idiot hadn't opened the paper. It's like it removes like a lot of the really scary implications that the best SCPs have with them. It's like once you find out it's a piece of paper, it's like sure there's some cosmic horror in that piece of paper creating this stuff, but it's like if they didn't exist without it, then like what's the point?
But then the simple toy maker would imply that he did create some SCPs, but he couldn't have created all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I So overall,
I personally think, like, as SCP-001, the sheaf of papers works better than the simple toy maker, because, like, the writing in that one is like, they just, like, they're like, yeah, this is a joke, woo, woo, woo. It's like, well, if you're gonna
now.
do something, commit to it, dude. Like, come on.
So overall, I'm also going to give it a score of the 30 out of 100 because immediately the idea is coming to this from the outside, starting at number one as an outside viewer who wants to do this for the first time. 001, you immediately break the immersion. Like, you could have at least done everything as redacted, forcing the people to go to number two. But
Yeah.
no.
It's just like, the implications of SCP are so, like, restricted, then you just see a whole wall of text, and it's just all redacted, and you're just like, oh, I see how it is.
Yeah. This, I don't know. I this whole thing I think is kind of a letdown. Especially since like I really like the one with like I really do like Peanut. He's really cool. What was it 179, 178?
173. You
173.
if you
There
go
you go.
if you go if you go on the page series 1 and you scroll down far enough, like, there's a big bold text that says the original.
I just don't like it.
But I think if they wanted to get that across, like, they could have, like, they should have just put it at the top. But that's design itself. Like,
Okay.
it's worth noting, like, 173 himself. He's like, we'll get to him eventually.
So so before we go, I think this is
Mm-hmm.
time to take some time for reflection on what we've seen today. Um, and as mean as we were to this SCP, I think it, in all fairness, taking a step back and taking a look at it. Um,
Well, like, if I thought it was absolutely hopeless, I would have given it a 0. But, like, there's good ideas. They're just not executed well.
and one day I think we'll sit down and we'll read every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But not today. Today was just SCP-001, which is overall this fucking hodgepodge.
Yeah, it's just a mess. That's basically what it is. It's just there's a mess, and I've read, like, the first 50 one day, and it's like there's definitely some good ones coming up.
Um, I look forward. I look forward to. Okay, so the next one we have is SCP-002, the Living Room. Um, it, in ter- so in the next episode we're going to start with the introduction of the security clearance levels and object
Mm-hmm.
classes and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll read SCP-002. But we kind of wanted to get one out of the way because one just felt, God,
One felt like worth massacring.
and then one felt worthless to me. Like I think one was the one where like looking at it going, okay, so all of these are the real one, but none of these are at the same time. But this is also all fake, and the whole story kind of feels kind of muddled at the beginning, and a really hard way to be introduced into this. And I if I was someone who didn't know SCP, I'd be a little wary about going in, knowing the
Mm-hmm.
next one that's coming up, how gross it is. I think this one is kind of like much more. Again, I think SCP-001 should have just been redacted, redacted, redacted. But like the next one is going to be a very interesting one.
Yeah, you can. The next one definitely, like, no spoils. It definitely has, like, problems, but the problems are completely different than the problems with any of the other SCPs. Like,
Yeah.
well, not then with number one in specifically. Like, a bunch of SCPs suffers from the problems that two has, but like, one doesn't. It just has the other problems that two doesn't really suffer from. They're actually really interesting in terms of like thinking about them. They're kind of both like, so you have problems here, and then you have the problems over here. They're isolated, and they're a really good way to see like some of the issues that the site has that like people don't really talk about.
And
And
I think this is one of those situations where we wanted to come in and we didn't want to overly hammer the later ones, because the later ones have the big um have the reputation of being like the worst of them. But I'm gonna go in with kind of an open heart, and I'm gonna hammer anywhere we can find
oh yeah, because I feel like when you kind of look up this stuff, people don't really talk about how stupid it can be.
Oh,
Like,
it,
and
it
like
gets
I
very
wouldn't be
stupid.
talking about it if I didn't like a lot of it. You know, like I have some
Same here,
SCPs I
same here.
legitimately like. Like, no, dude, like I think there's some legitimately amazing ones that really make you uncomfortable in ways that nothing else really does. And you know, like I wouldn't be like, this comes kind of from a place like I like it. I've seen how high it can be, but like let's acknowledge how low it can be as well. You know? And you know, let's try to have some fun with it as well, you know, cuz like all the SCP readings you find on the internet, it's also serious and like, well, it's real, obviously, you know, it's like, well, let's talk about it like as a narrative. It's like, you know, all those doctors is like, they don't make it easy to be like someone just coming in and be like, I want to enjoy SCP, and it's like, get out of the way, my Mary Sue character's coming through. You haven't been in the fandom that long. You can't contribute anything.
Woo, boy. Okay, that went south there quick, man. Come on.
I'm sorry. It's just once I get like on a track, I never stop barreling down.
Class D spotted.
I don't. I hit the wrong one there.
Well, do it again. Do it right this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you off right there. Okay, I'm thinking. Okay, so that neck snap sounds like a good noise anytime somebody wants to get cut off.
Click.
Okay, well, you know what? Well, thank you for being here today with me, Gus.
Thank you for being here.
We're gonna go on a magical journey through SCP land. We hope to bring in some friends to help us along the way.
And you know, I haven't read all of them. I'm hoping like through making fun of them, I'm able to discover ones I really like that I've never read before too.
I feel like we're going to slowly drift into madness. The one I'm most looking forward to is Game Show of Death.
Ooh, I haven't read that one yet.
But
one I'm most looking forward to is the one like the evil Netflix. Evil Netflix.
Evil Netflix.
And one of my favorite things about that one is how like consistent they are with, you know, it's been around a long time in different forms.
Well,
we hope to see you there then, I guess.
Yes. Well, and as a great man once said, it's close to midnight, and something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost stops your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes the sound before you make it. You start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed. because this
Shrek?
is thriller. God damn it. No! Good night, everyone.